Good evening. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners. It is Thursday, September 12th, 2013. The time is 7 p.m. If everyone could please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jackie, will you please take the roll?
President Janner.
Here.
Vice President Riley.
Here.
Commissioner Egan.
Present.
Commissioner Heidi, absent. Commissioner Ori.
Here.
Commissioner Todd.
Here.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
Next item on our agenda is awards and recognitions. This evening we'll be recognizing students from the Weber School of Irish Dance. At this time, I'd like to invite Dana Mitchell, Jen Sepko, and all the representatives here tonight from the Weber School of Irish Dance to join me here on the platform.
I'm representing Jennifer Sepko. She's in Peoria teaching. Sounds good.
You know, with names like McGurry and Riley here on the dais, I'm not sure if I'm the best person to make this presentation, but nevertheless, I'm glad to do it, and on behalf of the Naperville Park District, I'd like to welcome you here, and very pleased to have you here. And Naperville Park District offers a very wide variety of dance and arts programs to our community, and we're able to do this in partnership with many talented and dedicated teachers and organizations like you from the Weber School of Irish Dance. Tonight, we'll be honoring two particular dancers, Dana Mitchell and Jen Sepko, who first met in the Weber School of Irish Dance through the Park District over 10 years ago. They just returned from a trip to Ireland, where they helped break the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest line of river dance, The Gathering. In this event, 1,693 people from 44 countries performed the dance on the banks of the Liffey River on July 20th, 2013 in Dublin, Ireland. Both Dana and Jen have been great ambassadors for the Irish Dance program, and we're very proud of both of you. At this time, I'd like to present these certificates. First, to you, Dana, this reads, the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners is pleased to recognize Dana Mitchell for your participation in the Guinness World Records longest line of river dance, The Gathering, in Dublin, Ireland on July 20th, 2013, for being a wonderful ambassador for the Naperville Park District and the Weber School of Irish Dance, dated on the 12th day of September 2013. So Dana, congratulations. And I believe Tony Weber will be accepting on behalf of Jen Sepko. This certificate basically says the same thing, so thank you. The Weber School of Irish Dance is owned by two sisters, Tony and Madeline Weber, who have taught here in Naperville for 25 years. So on behalf of the Naperville Park District and our Board of Commissioners, we thank you for your excellent program, and we appreciate your partnership. So thank you.
Thank you for welcoming us to your board meeting tonight. We are very honored to be here. I am Mary McIntyre, one of the directors for the Weber School of Irish Dance, and we are so incredibly proud of the accomplishments of Dana and Jen in setting the Guinness World Book of Records. This incredible young woman has served as an ambassador not only for the Weber School of Irish Dance, but also for the Naperville community on the world stage. We thank you for your service and friendship through the years, and for all of the instructing efforts for the generations of Irish dancers to come through the Naperville Park District. We'd also like to thank the Naperville Park District for our longstanding friendship and relationship. We have been able to spread the joy and traditions of the Irish people through the Park District for over 20 years, and we couldn't be more proud to call Naperville our hometown and the very heart of the Weber School of Irish Dance. We look forward to teaching with the Naperville Park District for many more years. And to thank you, we would be honored to have Miss Dana Mitchell demonstrate a piece from the world-renowned show Riverdance. Thank you.
Very well done. Once again, thank you to you, Dana, and to everyone here from the Weber School of Irish Dance. Thank you and congratulations. Okay, at this time, we will move on to matters from the public. We'll now receive public comment for up to 3 minutes per speaker on non-agenda topics. The board will allow and hear public comment for up to 3 minutes. Jackie, has anyone signed up to speak here today?
Yes, Mr. George Bennett.
Mr. Bennett, if you could please approach us here and state your name and your address for the record, please, and you'll have up to 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening, Executive Director McGurry, President Chainer, and members of the Naperville Park District Board of Directors. I'm George Bennett. I'm here tonight as the president of the West Street Green Space Preservation Coalition, also known as the West Street Coalition, and that's P.O. Box 84, Naperville 60566. And I'm here to talk about sportsman's remediation with phase one of the project, perhaps commencing at any time. We remain very concerned about the potential loss of the wooded and natural areas at Sportsman's Park during the process. It is important to remember that the process is entirely voluntary, as the settlement resulting from the federal lawsuit in the late 1990s does not mandate remediation unless a change of land use occurs at the park, and even then, a period of up to 8 years is available. The areas of Sportsman's Park not currently used by the Park District's trap shooting program are densely wooded, forested, and are at some point wetlands. The loss of a wooded habitat of this size would have an immediate impact on wildlife that call it home, but in this particular place, the Sportsman's Woods is vital in creating a sense of remoteness and seclusion that allow the users of Von Oven Camp to experience an integration with nature that would not also be possible, and it greatly enhances the atmosphere that you have currently at your trap shooting program in the park. At the February 2011 availability session, it was stated that technology had progressed in the last decade that would allow removal of the accumulated lead at the site as you attempt to achieve a letter of no further remediation from the IEPA that would not result in clear-cutting or wholesale stripping of the character of the land. However, that process clearly will be expensive. Now, it came to my attention, and I don't know whether the diagram here has been projected, but obviously it's on your website, and basically it's a diagram of phase one. Phase one is actually going to take place in the area that is currently outside of the fenced area. This area currently has a letter of no further remediation from the IEPA. Now on your website, it says that that is particular to lead. My understanding is that a letter of no further remediation means that it is free of contaminants and can be used for other land uses. The diagram, if it were being shown here, would show a large road from Martin Avenue all the way to the access road to Sportsman's Park, a price tag of $500,000. We believe that it would also significantly deforest the land and, in fact, change the character currently found for the users of the activities at the site. Because this is $500,000, and it's not really remediating the site, this land has already been remediated. This is actually a precursor to the actual remediation. It would be our opinion that you should use the staging area for the actual phase 2. You should use Sportsman's Access Road and not destroy the wooded habitat that you would have to destroy by putting this road in from Martin Avenue. Thank you. Have a wonderful night, and I appreciate your time.
Okay, we'll move on to updates and reports. The first report will be the Riverwalk Commission update. Commissioner Young.
I actually am reporting on the Riverwalk Foundation update. And the next Riverwalk Foundation meeting will be January 17th at 7 a.m. in the lunchroom at the Municipal Center. The Riverwalk Foundation asks that I mention that the Ted Friedenhagen's Class Act 2 Big Band will be jazzing up Friedenhagen Park beginning at 4:30 this Saturday.
Thank you, Commissioner Young. We'll move on to the Parks Foundation report. Commissioner Todd.
The Parks Foundation, I sat in for President Janner. They met August 20th. There was a discussion on adding new board members to the foundation, and if folks have suggestions, please send those to Mary Lou Worley. There was also a discussion of various ways that folks can donate to the foundation, and staff was going to review some of the suggestions and determine whether or not implementation was possible. And then there was a discussion on possible projects that the foundation could assist with. And that pretty much sums up the meeting, and the next meeting is going to be September 17th.
Thank you, Commissioner Todd. The next report is the Finance Committee update. Commissioner Ori.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met on September 4th. The only topic of discussion was a draft of the board's budget for 2014. We, the board, are responsible for this small portion of the district's budget. The responsibility for the execution of 99.9% of the budget rests with the executive director. The board's budget for 2014 remains relatively unchanged from 2013. The entire draft of the district's budget will be considered at a workshop in November.
Thank you, Commissioner Ori. The next report will be the Legislative Committee update. Commissioner Young.
On August 9th, Sue Omenson, the Community Development Manager, the Chairman of the Legislative Committee, Commissioner Heidi, and I met with the State Representative Jeannie Ives. During that meeting, Commissioner Heidi reviewed some of the Park District's past and current legislative priorities, including the Child Safety Bill, Senate Bill 3809, the bill to exclude names on Park District class lists from copying requirements under the Freedom of Information Act, that's House Bill 3343, the minimum wage bill, and the property tax extension limitation, PTAL. Regarding House Bill 1522, the stormwater bill, Representative Ives said that she favors a fee based on stormwater impact rather than on EAV. In her view, this will encourage dissipating stormwater at its site. Commissioner Heidi shared the Park District's concern that while the Park District is a net receiver of stormwater, this change from a tax to a fee could mean that our costs will increase. Representative Ives explained that this is not the intent of the legislation. Representative Ives then shared some of her legislative priorities with us, including pension reform, the Affordable Health Care Act, the state budget, and Illinois' bond rating, and the proposals for new taxes, including a graduated income tax and taxes on services. It was a very productive hour that we spent together, and Representative Ives appreciated the opportunity to meet with the Park District. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Young. The next report will be the Parks and Recreation Committee update. Vice President Riley.
The Parks and Recreation Committee met on August 16th, 2013. Director Schutz provided an update on AT&T's request to install a cell tower at Nike Sports Complex. AT&T's monthly rent proposal to the district is lower than the cell rental rates at other Park District and city facilities. The location of the tower, however, fits within the criteria for cell towers within parks. So the committee supported the proposed location of the tower, but the issue of the monthly rent to be charged be referred to the Finance Committee. Manager Papanos updated the committee on 3 potential Riverwalk additions. First, Water Street, but there's a lot of additional information that's needed from the developers for that project. Next, 430 South Washington. That property was purchased by North Central College, and the college intends to put a sign up. The rest of the property will become part of the Riverwalk. And then finally, talked about the south extension. There's interest in putting easements for an extension south of Hillside to Martin Avenue. The Riverwalk Commission recently held a public meeting on the proposed extension. Under the proposal, bikes would not be allowed on the extension. The committee suggested that a multi-use trail might be considered for the extension versus an actual Riverwalk. So Major Papanos was going to relay that information back to the Riverwalk Commission. Director Wilson informed the committee that staff is working with an architect on ideas to revitalize the Riverwalk Eatery. The committee is supportive of this project and directed staff to develop concepts and bring them back to the committee for consideration. And finally, Manager Papanos shared a recent request from a master gardener and beehive keeper to place honeybees at the community garden plots. Locating bees at the site will assist with pollination at the garden plots. Commissioner Ori commented that bees are at the plots now and that adding hives would help to increase their numbers and would be beneficial to the gardens. Several concerns and considerations were raised, and legal counsel Dirk Price will reach out to the interested individual and report back to the committee at a future meeting. And that future meeting, the next committee meeting will be held on Monday, September 16th at 1 p.m. in the administration building.
Thank you, Vice President Riley. The next committee update will be the Golf Committee update. Commissioner Todd.
The Golf Committee met August 19th. We reviewed the numbers. July numbers were normal and is essentially ahead of last year's numbers. The golf staff is also looking at possibilities to redevelop the food service areas, and we will be reviewing that in our next meetings. And our next meeting is September 16th.
Thank you, Commissioner Todd. The next report is the Board President update. This past Labor Day weekend, the Naperville JCs hosted the annual Last Fling, and our very own Commissioner Bill Egan served as Executive Director of the Last Fling Committee. Chairing a festival committee of this magnitude involves a tremendous amount of effort and dedication. On behalf of the Park District and this board, I'd like to thank Commissioner Egan for his volunteerism and congratulate him on a job well done. The Naperville Park District hosted a tent in the family area at the Last Fling where we offered games and prizes to residents and visitors who stopped by. Our Board of Commissioners participated in the Last Fling Parade on Labor Day, and we enjoyed visiting and interacting with the hundreds of residents on hand for the parade. It was a great turnout. Despite some unconventional golf cart driving tactics by Commissioner Todd, we all left the event in one piece, thankfully. One particular resident I spoke with at the parade asked why the Centennial Beach amenity was not open during the weekdays once school begins. And I know some other residents out there may be wondering the same thing, so I thought I would briefly address this here tonight. The Centennial Beach swim season runs from Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend each year, and this is not so much based on weather, as we've had some really hot weather here this past week, as it is on staff availability. During the month of August, we begin to lose staff as they return to school. The vast majority of our lifeguard and beach support staff are comprised of college and high school age students. Each weekend in August, we lose more lifeguards until finally by the end of summer, we rely completely on our high school staff. While our high school guards are excellent and very well trained, unfortunately many of them are athletes, and by mid-August, they too have school and extracurricular commitments. So the combination of college students who return to school and school commitments for our high school lifeguards create times when we are short-staffed and need to close areas of the water at the beach. Some members of our board and staff will be representing the Naperville Park District at the National Park and Recreation Association Conference in Houston, Texas from October 8 through 10. Attendance at this event will allow us to participate in the educational sessions, visit with vendors and suppliers to park districts, and keep our finger on the pulse of national and regional trends in the fields of parks and recreation. Given this important event, there will be no regular meeting on Thursday, October 10th. Finally, You may recall that Bram Boboski of the Naperville Century Walk appeared here before our board at a recent meeting to discuss with us the Spirit of the American Navy project, which involved placing and dedicating a Sailor Boy statue at Burlington Square Park. Century Walk has recently informed us that the statue will be dedicated at 2 p.m. on the 238th birthday of the American Navy, Sunday, October 13th, 2013. We hope many of you will be able to attend. Thank you. And our final report will be Executive Director update. Executive Director McGurry.
Thank you, President Janner. Quite a few things to talk about here. Very busy weekend coming up. What happens when you combine an instrument housed by the Millennium Carillon and some good old-fashioned rock and roll? You get Rocking the Tower. The second and final installment of this new and very unique event will take place on Sunday, September 15th, which will feature rock music played at the Carillon by City Carillionaire Tim Sleep. Event partner 95.9 The River will broadcast live from Rotary Hill during this free event with music, prizes, and more. Plus, we are proud to have the opportunity to provide support to St. Baldrick's Bike Bald event, which will be held in Naperville on September 29th. You too can help support this local St. Baldrick's event in a couple of different ways. First of all, come to Rockin' the Tower event and enjoy some great music. While there, check out the awesome bike raffle. I also encourage you to participate in their blanket donation program and grab extra blankets before you leave home. Donated blankets will be used for the picnic that will be held following the Bike Bald event. Following the picnic, all donated blankets will be given to the Naperville Area Humane Society. So you get to support two great organizations at the same time. See our website for more information on Rockin' the Tower. Further details on the Bike Bald event can be found on their website, which is www.bikebald.com. This weekend, the Magical Starlight Theater will present its final shows, which is Friday through Sunday, of the beloved fairy tale Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at the Little Theater at Naperville Central High School. Tickets are available for purchase through the Naperville Park District. Tickets also may be available for purchase at the door prior to each performance. All tickets are $10 a piece. The Magical Starlight Theater cast is made up of your friends and neighbors, and they are very talented in putting on an exceptionally memorable performance. Enjoy some first-rate community theater with your family this weekend. The Park District will be celebrating the reopening of two newly renovated playgrounds, the first at Huntington Commons, which will be on Tuesday, September 17th, and the second at Olson Farm Park on Tuesday, October 1st. Both events will take place at 5 p.m. Neighbors are invited to bring their families and friends to participate in a brief ribbon-cutting ceremony, enjoy refreshments and giveaways, and check out the new play equipment and landscaping. This is always a great opportunity for commissioners and staff to connect with the residents, and we sure hope you can join us. As mentioned, there will be no board meeting next month. However, there will still be I guess for lack of a better term, a workshop, which will take place on Thursday, October 24th at the South Maintenance Facility, and that's as scheduled and on the website. This late summer weather makes us think about anything other than cooler fall weather. However, it will be here soon, and I think it is here right now as I speak, as the winds are blowing and it's getting cooler. And when it arrives, you'll want to make sure you've booked one of your spectacular family or group hay rides at Knocknolds or Seeger Parks. Hay rides are undoubtedly one of Naperville Park District's signature events, and if you haven't experienced one yet, you really should. We provide hot chocolate and apple juice, and participants may bring food to cook over the bonfire. It's a great opportunity to gather with family and friends and celebrate this fall. With Halloween coming next month, we're planning for several holiday-themed activities and events, including our annual traditional event, Halloween Happenings. If you're interested in finding out about all of the spooky fun we have planned, be sure to check out our website. And then two other events that we aren't necessarily, are not Park District events, but ones that we are involved in both from a staff perspective, community relations, marketing, as well as the Parks Department, is the Naperville Moms Network Back to School Barbecue, which is this Saturday, September 14th from noon until 4 p.m. at the Riverwalk Grand Pavilion, and the Conservation Foundation's McDonald Farm Fall Festival on Sunday, September 15th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. These are just two of the dozens of community partners we have in the Naperville community here, and we, through some different reciprocal agreements, we provide staff and support to them, and like I said, we are out in the community, as you can see this weekend, quite a bit, so hopefully you can make one of these events. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Executive Director McGurry. The next item on the agenda is approval of the Treasurer's Report.
Move to approve the July 2013 Treasurer Report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Jackie, will you please take the roll?
Vice President Riley,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi absent, Commissioner Ori,
Aye.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Move to accept consent agenda items in total. This calls for a roll call vote.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Jackie, will you please take the roll?
Vice President Riley,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi absent, Commissioner Ori,
Aye.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes.
Move to approve the consent agenda as accepted. This is a voice vote.
Please signify by saying aye.
I need a second, please.
Excuse me.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Commissioner Todd. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. We will move on to new business.
Move to approve the purchase of one Ford F-650 gas XL regular cab in the amount of $44,399 to Curry Motors Fleet.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Jackie, will you please take the roll?
Vice President Riley,
Yes.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi absent, Commissioner Ori,
Aye.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes. I'd like to announce the future meetings of the Naperville Park District. Special meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners, September 17th, 2013, 9 a.m. at the Naper Settlement Preemption House. Following that will be a regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners, September 26, 2013, 6 p.m. in the South Maintenance Facility lunchroom at 3415 Book Road. And the next regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners will be October 24th, 2013. Pardon me? Yeah. 7 p.m. At the South Maintenance Facility lunchroom, 3415 Book Road. Next item on the agenda is executive session.
Move to adjourn to executive session to discuss land acquisition under 2C5 of the Open Meetings Act and imminent litigation under 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Jackie, will you please take the roll?
Vice President Riley,
Yes.
Commissioner Egan,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidi absent, Commissioner Ori,
Aye.
Commissioner Todd,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
President Janner.
Yes.